The playoffs are here, and you can predict the action all the way to the finals with FanDuel Predicts. Predict the spread, the total points, and even the game-winning moments that make the playoffs. Sign up and get a $25 bonus with FanDuel Predicts.
Offered by FanDuel Prediction Markets, LLC, a registered futures commission merchant. 18-plus bonus is non-withdrawable and expires 7 days after receipt. Trading derivatives involves significant risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Manage your activity with their consumer protection tools. Restrictions apply. See terms at FanDuel.com/predicts/bonus-offer-terms.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Lara Trump is one of my all-time favorite people. She's on this show every week. And again, she's got My View, 9 p.m. Saturday nights. It's a great show on Fox News and her podcast as well. Lara, how are you? Good morning.
I was going to say imitation is the highest form of flattery. But, Sid, we all know nobody can do it like you. You deliver it in a way that no one can try to copy. No one can copy our president either. God knows they've tried, and they are so inauthentic, and it's so funny to watch. You are an original, and we appreciate everything you say, and I would take that as a badge of honor.
No, it is, and I love Josh Hammer, and God, I couldn't love you any more than I do. And for you to put me in the same sentence as your father-in-law, I mean, come on, how great is that? That's why I've had the conversation with you, Lara, a couple of times now, that I know it sounds wacky, but as my friend Frank told me this morning, they said it was wacky when a TV show host of a reality show was running for president. They said it was wacky when a super action hero was running for governor in the state of California, or an actor was running for governor in the state of California, or a rapper was running for mayor in New York. That's why I keep saying to you, if you compare me to Trump, which I love, I got to run for mayor in 2029 because this guy is going to kill all of us.
Sid, would you please do it? Can we confirm that right here? Because as you heard, that kind of lead into that whole soundbite you played there, we all want New York City to return. This is the greatest city on earth. think about how many people have been made by New York. You could argue Donald Trump would not be in the White House right now had it not been for the city of New York. He changed the skyline, but it changed him, and it made him into the person he is today, the greatest president this country has ever seen. We have to have that city come back, and we need somebody who understands how to do it. We need a fighter, someone who's not going to lay down and roll over for all the woke lunatics out there. And God knows, Sid, we know you wouldn't do it if they tried. They could hold your feet to the fire. You wouldn't have it. So we need you. Let's go.
All right. Well, that's it. Now that I've got the Trump endorsement, then I got to start taking this very, very seriously.
You better get it together. You better get serious about it. Let's do it.
I'm serious. First, I got to sign my big radio deal, and then we'll talk about possibly, if not probably, running this city. On a different note, though, outside of New York, the Iran situation, I think our beloved President Trump, who, of course, he's your father-in-law, and I adore him, we're running the risk here, Lara. This is going to be a very honest conversation of almost getting
honest conversations with you. You and I've had some honest ones over the years. That's
true. That's true. And that's why I think we're so close. We're getting close to the Nancy Guthrie situation. What do I mean by that? Eventually, I couldn't stop watching the coverage. I think I watched Fox News for like 96 hours straight. And eventually it was like, this poor lady's dead. She's been dead forever. And I feel horrible for her daughter, but it's enough, okay? And I'm starting to feel like the American public is almost there with Iran. Like, either blow the smithereens out of these bastards and take back the Strait and do what you got to do, take out the RGC and move on, President Trump, or call it a day. But this extension, this ceasefire, this possible deal, I don't know at this point if it's helping us and helping our efforts coming up in November. So that is the question that I get faced with Lara almost all the time. And to be honest, I don't have a great answer. I don't.
Yeah. Well, listen, first of all, let me go back to what I remember in 2015, Donald Trump sitting down with our entire family and saying to all of us, and I remember him saying, I will go in and I will do the right thing, and they're going to come after all of us, right? If I do the right things for this country. And I don't care if I am a one-term president. I don't care. I'm not doing this for political capital. I'm not doing this to gain points for the Republican Party. I'm doing this because this country needs to be saved. And if I get one term in office, but the right things happen, it will have been worth it. So I look at everything this president does from that vantage point. Now, do I want to ensure that we win these midterm elections? Absolutely. I'm the former co-chair of the party. There's nothing that we need more in this country than to win that. However, the situation in Iran, I think, is one that has been kicked down the road for so long, and we finally have a president who's taking it seriously. Much like moving the American embassy in Israel to Jerusalem, which so many presidents before him said they would do, he actually got it done in his first term. This is another one of those things where so many presidents before him have acknowledged the threat that Iran poses, and yet no one was willing to go in and no one was willing to do the tough work. I will also add that we don't have the same intel as the President of the United States, as the Commander-in-Chief, as the Secretary of War might have. They are the people on the front lines of this fight, and they understand what's going on far better, Sid, than I do, far better than you do, and far better than, the Monday morning quarterbacks who love to assess everything that happens via this administration.
True.
I believe this president is doing what's necessary, and I actually think that the way he has played it, I get it. I agree with you. Let's blow him off the map and let's call it a day. But there's something else at play here that could be much bigger. If you blow them off the map, if you go in and you bomb all of their facilities and you take out all of, their energy sites, well, then what happens to the people in Iran? What happens to the innocent people, the people who've been begging for 47 years for freedom? It's a tough spot he's in. So he understands the nuance here. He understands the complexity here, and he understands the importance here on all of those fronts, on the political front as we head towards November, but also on the front of ensuring that this is a situation that never has to be dealt with again. And I truly believe that he's doing everything possible to wrap this up as quickly as humanly possible, while also ensuring that those people in Iran get their freedom, that they are not hurt any more than they already have been, and that we can kind of call this thing a day and put a bow on this and never have to deal with them again.
I think you just explained it perfectly, because from day one, I was with the president on this. I mean, I actually had him on April 15th of last year. So now we're talking about a year and like a week, and I told him to bomb Iran. He said, I'm thinking about it. I'll take that under suggestion. We'll try to figure something else out. But it wasn't long after that. We had Midnight Hammer. And not long after that, now we've got the war. So I was all for it. I think it's great. I think we've accomplished a lot. I just don't want this thing to drag on for too long, become another one of these long Mideast wars, because my fear is that the morons out there who are saying this isn't our war, and of course it was Iran who started this war, not us. They started this 47 years ago. Like you said, your father-in-law had the courage to do something about it, and I applaud him all day for that. But I think it starts to hurt us if this thing drags on for too long. That's my only fear.
Yeah. No, I hear that, and I agree with that, and I think a lot of people agree with that, and I think he understands that more so than anyone. He's the one who's been saying from the beginning of this, I don't want this long, protracted war. I don't want some drawn-out situation. I don't want to have to put boots on the ground. But he's assessing things in real time, and we don't have all that information, and so it is challenging, I think, to look at what he's doing and to try to critique it whenever you kind of have half or maybe even 25% truly of the information that he has. I can promise you he wants an end to this, and he wants a permanent end. He doesn't want a Band-Aid solution. He doesn't want to send him $150 billion in pallets of cash and say, 10 to 15 years from now, you can start enriching uranium again, like President Obama did. We're not here for that. We're here to bring an end to this scourge on the earth, into the number one sponsor of terrorism around the world. We want all that to end. We want this to be great for America, great for the rest of the world, and we never want to have to deal with these lunatics ever again.
All right, one more thing. Don't be upset again, because I do love you. But I want to give you an opportunity to explain stuff away, because the media just hammers, you guys especially, okay?
Absolutely.
And you know the dig, though, they're talking about right now that you took a dig at Ivanka. I know you know about this. I didn't find it that way, but that is the story in the paper the last 2 days. Anything to say about that?
That I took a dig at Ivanka? What did I say that I took a dig at Ivanka? I don't even know about.
You haven't seen this. Lara Trump shot.
I don't buy into the fake news, Sid. That's
I know.
Trash.
I know
Tell me what I did.
He said Lara Trump shot a subtle dig at her sister-in-law during an appearance on the Katie Miller podcast on Tuesday. Lara, who is married to President Donald Trump's second son, Eric, told MAGA podcaster Katie Miller that the president's daughter, Ivanka, sometimes intervenes when she's not wanted.
Oh, okay. So Katie Miller, we did a rapid fire session. That's what she called it. And she said, who in the Trump family, one of the questions, I had like 10 seconds to answer, who gives the most unsolicited advice? And I said, I don't know. Maybe Ivanka, but it comes from such a place of goodness with Ivanka. And anyone who knows her knows this. She's one of the most kind-hearted people you'll ever meet. And she really always wants to do good. I can't believe they're making a thing out of this. By the way, this just shows you what complete garbage and trash is out there. And if this is what they're writing about, Sid, we're living in a pretty great time, all right? I'll say that.
And I know how close you are with Ivanka, how much you guys love each other.
Oh, my God.
I know it's garbage, but that doesn't stop the Daily Beast or the Independent.
Thanks for asking me about it. These people are crazy. No, by the way, but Ivanka's advice, she generally has a lot of thoughts on things, and she'll kind of wait until the last minute. She's like, if you want a different way to do things, I could help with that. It's very sweet. There's nothing but love between
Of course,
Ivanka. I can't believe they wrote that.